like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Today, usually we can solve any mysteries rather fast without knowledge of science, nature and advanced technology like DNA data. However, to this day there are still mysterious incidents that nobody could so far explain. People have been wondering about these for years and will probably continue to scratch their heads as time goes on. Today, we are talking about the 10 unsolved mysteries. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you will be the first one to be notified when we post. Let's get right into it. Number 10. Ghost ships. The Mary Celeste is the true definition of a ghost ship. Found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, the ship was discovered drifting without anyone on board. The boat's lifeboats and rations were missing, but the boat was seaworthy. Her last log entry was 10 days before someone had spotted the boat. The crew's belongings were undisturbed, and not all the rations were taken. Many say that this indicates that they were in a hurry to get off the boat. Many speculations have been made about exactly what happened, including submarine earthquakes, water sprouts, having been attacked by a giant squid, or even thinking that something paranormal was involved. However, many scientists say that these are rather unlikely, and that the story has been complicated way too much and too many fantasy details added. Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, wrote a short story about the Mary Celeste, the Maria Celeste, and due to the story's fame it became the more common to spell it Maria. To this day the mystery remains unsolved and the crew has never been seen or heard of from ever again, seemingly vanishing without a trace. Number 9. The incident at the Daytolotov Pass. Our number 1 is a particularly gruesome one. This was the event where 9 Russian hikers died of uncertain circumstances. The hikers were setting up on camp on the 1st of February 1959, which is the night they died. During the night, something caused them to cut open their tent from the inside and stumble into the cold night. After the groups were discovered, authorities determined that 6 of them had died because they froze to death, and the other 3 had died from physical trauma. 1 had major skull damage, 2 had chest traumas, and another had a crack in the skull. 4 of them were found lying near or in a small river. Not only that, but 2 of the bodies were missing their eyes, and another was missing a tongue. The investigation was concluded to say that the people had died from a compelling natural force. Theories had come up, however, saying that this might have been an animal attack, an avalanche, infrasound including panic, military involvement, or a combination of these. Later on, the investigation continued, concluding the incident caused was a slab avalanche, explaining some of the injuries, and ending with the statement that most of them had been forced into the open and died of hypothermia. But people might never know what really went on there. Number 8. Area 51. You've surely heard of Area 51 before, because not too long ago the internet came together and said they would storm the area and see what was really going on there. Of course, many people have made up theories about what is actually happening there, as no one really knows except the people that work in Area 51. Some of these theories include the development of time travel and teleportation, the development of weather control, and one of the most common, aliens. Many people have theorized that Area 51 deals with extraterrestrials, but no one has ever so far been able to prove this. People are advised not to ever trespass the area because they have armed American forces trained to protect the facilities, and a sign will stop you before you even get close. The sign reads that photography is prohibited and that using deadly force is authorized. Not a place you want to spend your time at. Number 7. The Volnik Manuscript. This manuscript is a codex, which is handwritten in an unknown and possibly meaningless writing system. Only a few words in Latin and High German were found, but the majority is unreadable. The skin it was written on dates back to the early 15th century, and the text may have been composed during the Italian Renaissance. It is not known who has written it or for what purpose. To this day, many people have tried to decipher the manuscript, but nobody has come close to understanding its meaning. Experts have concluded that the first part of the book had something to do with herbs and general herbal remedies, but no one has been able to identify any of the plants, mainly because the art is very stylized. Some also noticed that some of the pages were missing for an unknown reason, but no one knows where they might be. Could you decipher it? Let us know in the comments below. Number 6. The bridge at Overton that calls dogs to their maker. This one will particularly frighten people with pets. There is a bridge in Scotland that seemingly makes dogs go crazy and jump off the bridge into the ravine below, either injuring themselves or dying due to the fall. Back in 1994, a man threw his then 2-week-old son off the bridge, believing that his child was the incarnation of the devil, and later on attempted suicide multiple times, first by jumping off the bridge and later by slashing his wrists. Many people say that the bridge is both haunted by the child and its father, and the dogs have been more sensitive to these spiritual signs, and that may be the reason dogs jump off the bridge. Others have theorized that the scent of the mink drives the dogs crazy, and they simply follow the scent, ending in the dogs hopping onto the bridge wall and jumping off as it follows the scent, or simply topples over. However, a local stated that there are no minks in the area. How odd. Number 5. The Big Grey Man. This creature can be compared to creatures like the Yeti and Bigfoot, but there is a big difference between this creature and the elusive Bigfoot. The Grey Man is supposed to be the only presence of an unknown spirit haunting the summit of Ben Macachie in Scotland. The first recorded encounter with the Grey Man was reported in 1891, but was not made public until later in 1925. But why was it kept secret? Many encounters reports have heard footsteps behind them, feeling uncontrollable fear and anxiety, making them want to flee. Others have reported also having seen the creature, describing it as a huge grey figure standing in the mist behind them. Other climbers claim that they have been alone in the mountains. Standing in the fog can make you feel like an eerie feeling of apparition. Feeling an eerie feeling of apparition, fearing that something bad would happen soon. Many have heard a stone-crunching sound, breaking out in panic and fleeing, ending up with them telling stories about something up on the summit. Some insist on there being a creature lurking in the mountains, and nobody really knows what people saw up there. Number 4. The Toskak Event. This event happened in 1908 and has confused everybody ever slightly involved. This is classified as an impact event, an event where an asteroid or meteor hits the surface, leaving a crater where it hit. Now, the weird thing about this event is there is no impact crater anywhere near the area where it was supposed to have hit, and yet 80 million trees in the area and 830 square miles have been flattened, and reportedly 3 people have also died during this incident. The natives of the area first began spotting a blue light as bright as the sun, and about 10 minutes later heard a sound like artillery fire. The sounds were accompanied by a shockwave that sent hundreds of their feet and broken windows, even hundreds of kilometers away. No one knows what happened there, but one of the most popular theories is that there might have been a small comet composed of dust and things like frozen gases, making it vaporize before hitting the surface. It would also explain the blue light being the trail of the comet, but it is nowhere near proven. Number 3. The disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. There are not many planes that have ended up completely vanishing off the Earth's surface, not ever being found again. Flight 370 was one of those. However, this plane scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur to the Beijing National Airport back in 2014, but never made it to its destination. 38 minutes after takeoff, the aircraft was lost from the ATC radar screens, but military radars managed to track it for another hour, going in a slightly different direction than what was planned until it was lost northwest of the Beijing island. The search for the missing airplane and its crew and passengers turned out to be the most expansive search in history. Several pieces of debris were washed ashore, but no plane ever turned up. All 227 passengers and 12 crew members are presumed dead and were never heard from again. What haunts us is the last thing said by the pilot was, "Good night, Malaysia, 370. This was the incident and will forever be stuck in the minds of people who lost friends and relatives in this plane. Number 2. The Circleville Letters. For many years, the residents of Circleview got letters in their mailboxes, threatening them to make their affairs public or something bad would happen. The very first letter was received by Mary Celeste in December 1976. The letter documented her affair with another man by the name of Gordon Massey, the superintendent of the local school in Circleville. It read, "Stay away from Massey. Don't lie when questioned about knowing him. I know where you live. I've been observing your house and know you have children. This is no joke. Please take it seriously. Everyone concerned has been notified and everything will be over soon." These letters were postmarked from Columbus, a bigger city in the area. They were anonymous and displayed no return address. Many others have received letters threatening them with either physical harm or by threatening to reveal people's personal business, ruining their lives in the process. No one ever found out who the letters came from or even where. Reports say that people received letters until 2005 when they suddenly stopped. The mystery remains, however. Number 1. The Pollock Sisters. When a family member dies, they take a piece of the heart of everyone around them. It is especially saddening when a child dies. This is what happened to John and Florence Pollock, who lost their twin daughters Joanne and Jacqueline in an out-of-control car accident in 1957. Thankfully, the miracle of life blessed them once more, and they had another set of twins called Jillian and Jennifer. They noticed that they had similar birthmarks to the deceased sisters. When they were 2 years old, they began asking for their old toys back. Their parents were in shock. How did they recognize their sisters' toys? Many things were similar to the sisters. They enjoyed the same food, and they had the same taste in clothing, and recognized friends of their deceased sisters. When they turned 5, it was like someone flipped a switch, and the memories of their sisters vanished. No one knows if it was reincarnation or something else, but it sure was spooky. And there you have it. Top 10 Unsolved Mysteries. Is there anything you think that should be on the list? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and perhaps subscribe to our channel. We would like to see you in the next one.